Welcome. I'm Purpose Fulfillment Guide and author Roslyn Elena McGrath. And today I'm sharing an excerpt from Post-Resurrection, the Family of Mary Magdalene, from the question and answer section, where those who had the opportunity to read the manuscript before it was published had a chance to submit some questions. This was specifically queried to Jesus. And of course, this is how the energy flowed through me in response. And the question is, in this human life, we have our ups, we have our downs. Why do sometimes the downs seem to not go away and the ups seem to go away too soon? So response here is that varies for different individuals. Sometimes it is simply a pattern that you know as you cut a groove and then pass through the groove again. The groove becomes deeper and deeper, yes? We would say it is like that for you sometimes. And so it is like you could use a little more support to get out of that kind of groove. And then really to be vigilant in honoring and supporting your heart, your path, your spirit's desire to begin to inscribe a groove that is more suitable for you. And it takes practice, it takes tenacity. But most of all, it takes the commitment to supporting one's own path to be able to move out of that deeper, well-worn groove into cutting a new one consistently enough that it begins to become the norm. Follow-up questions, but what if you're hurting people in the process of trying to cut that new path? There is the hurt of dishonoring others. That is one type. There is also the hurt of others not getting what they think they want. That is not what we call hurting. So oftentimes in the human experience, one has the belief that things must look a certain way or take a certain form, and that this will make them happy, or if not happy, that this desired outcome is what is right. And they cling to this. And if what they want others to do, and it is a rare human being who does not have some of this, if these others do not do what they see as fit for these ones to do, then they may say, well, they are hurting me. But really, this is only dishonoring and disrespecting another. One can quite respectfully communicate, I know we thought it would work this way, or you hoped it would work this way, but I had hoped that it would work this way, or whatever the situation requires. But in actuality, this is not what's really happening. Let's look at what is really happening. Can we do it differently? Does our connection need to take a different form? Do we need to take a break? Do we need some support to experiment with new ways of relating, exchanging together? But let's be real. Let's be honest here without judging. Now, this is doable from a loving space, from a respectful space. Such things are possible and they do occur. They do not always occur, but they do occur. But always, one must begin with honoring the self. That is not narcissism. Narcissism is not an honoring. Narcissism is great insecurity and fear at work, taking a form of boastfulness and self-centeredness and so on. But the true honoring of oneself is required to be truly able to honor another and to honor one's path, which is to honor Source and all of creation. All that Source has created is honored whenever each one of us says yes to our authentic nature. So is it wrong to put our desires off to please another? Answer. There are different levels of desires. Some are not rooted in source. Some are rooted in survival instincts. Some are rooted in grasps for pleasure. Some simply are rooted in stubbornness. And so we share about this broadly, since this will be read by others. This is not all germane to your situation, but we would say that it is one's soul's desires, for it is like your consciousness is the steward of this hologram, this aspect of the Creator. And your job is to nourish it, and is nourished by challenges as well as free adventures. Ultimately, to the soul, it is all one free adventure, although it rubs up against friction and density in some of these processes. So it is stewarding and moving forward with the truly authentic desire, the deep values, the true values of the being. Yes, this must come first in order to evolve with less friction and to bring more light to the planet. Setting an example of unfulfilling sacrifice, by which we mean unfulfilling to the soul nature, is not really a useful example for others, including one's own children. There are ways that one can, I don't want to say exactly compromise, but find bridges. Well, this is a core choice, a core desire that I recognize I must enact to be my full self here in this lifetime. And I will honor you with that choice by my knowledge of your resilience, of your capacity to feel the love you have in your heart toward me and my love toward you, and that my love is not going anywhere. And that my tenacity and my care for you, my determination to look out for you, to help guide you along your way through phases toward maturity, those are not going anywhere. There are ways to exemplify this, to express it beyond words by actions that do not require an oppression of core commitments to one's true self. Does this make sense to you? Response, well, I'm going to have to think about it some more. Answer back, indeed. So you may perhaps meditate upon this and ask for support and a sort of relaxed processing of this in your dream time, in your sleep space. We feel that would be helpful for you. We love you without end, dear one. Response, the feeling is very, very mutual. Reply back, indeed, we will tell you a secret, okay? What you have just told us, it is well known here. We feel your love at all times. There is no separation between us in reality. We thank you for your presence and the strength of will, character, and love that you exhibit in this incarnation and many beyond it. Namaste, dear one. And so I hope that there are inspirational nuggets here for you. I would love to hear how this lands for you in the comments. Of course, this again is how these energies flow through me in response to the questioner and in my connection with the soul energy that I know as Jesus the Christ. And of course, we are all, right? We are all connected to the Holy Family. And we may all have our own sort of angle into this. But I would love to hear again how this lands for you. And I want to thank you so much for being here and for being you. And if you would like to hear more along these lines and more from post-resurrection, please be sure to like this video and subscribe. Namaste and many blessings to you, my dear friend.